Players always say that laning strength is the most important thing. And the coaching perspective, where they're about, or thinking about collapsing and maybe making picks in this one. So once again, we're going to see TF banned out. Not too much of a surprise right here. IG are pretty much just going to run it back. They're also going to take away Kanavi's best champion. He had a 78% win rate on it last year. So taking that away is also pretty common draft strategy that we've seen against JD Gaming.
Yep, we can see there the Orianna, the only real difference for JDG coming into this particular ban phase, and the Nidalee picked up first, as you had mentioned, Clement. But now, where do you want to go now if you're Kanavi? Do you look to lock in your jungler? Yeah, you go for the Graves again, and I don't think the Graves was necessarily a problem, but I just don't feel like Kanavi really did anything with it.
Yeah, I think Graves is a champion where you really need to, the way you want to play it is you want to be in the enemy jungle and you want to be challenging them, you want to have pushing lanes and just kind of snowball that way. He's a very quick farmer, he's a really good duelist, but he does need to stay ahead of the curve as kind of like a lethality AD carry type of champion right there. So if they're going to commit to the Graves, I do want to see them picking winning lanes, and they still are on the red side. That's something that they are doing now with the Misfortune. As we talked about this matchup, Misfortune typically does get the lane prio, does get the push potential because of that harass that she can put out onto the Jhin. And we're going to see the bot lane swapped over right here. So that should give JD's bot lane.
Yeah, we're going to see maybe a little bit of a switcheroo. Yeah, definitely should if they play it correctly. And if we saw it from the last one, you know, Wink and Baolan definitely struggled in the laning phase. That's going to be the Maokai locked in, so could potentially be going to Lumao. Could go to Zoom as well. I would more put my money towards Lumao taking that one up into the support position. And now, where do you go if you're JDG? Do you look for that counter pick onto the Shy? Do you look to kind of, you know, give counter pick to Xie? Where do you want to kind of put your priority here?
So they are most likely going to have to blind pick a mid laner, and right now, if I'm JD Gaming, I typically am looking at something like the Galio. You know, you want something AP, you want something that can beef up a front line, also do crowd control, potentially have some sort of initiation potential. So I think Galio is probably the go-to pick right here. And looks like JD Gaming are still going to be taking away the likes of the Shy's POC champion pool. So that's kind of interesting, which leads me to believe that maybe Xie is actually the last pick instead of the Zoom, as I would have hoped.
Yeah, we kind of, unfortunately, you know, if anyone's going to have counter picks to whatever the hell you put into topside, no matter how many bans go into them, it's going to be the Shy. And actually, it's Victor again going into that mid lane. So Xie locking that in, going in a bit more blind, but they have locked away the Orianna and the Syndra, so not as many safe picks to pick into this.
Victor still has kind of the same problem. He's very slow, and JD Gaming's composition is relying on IG to walk into them. However, IG have themselves already set up into having the ability to play poke, because they do have the Nidalee, they do have the Jhin, and yeah, they are going for the poke comp. Like, Victor can set up your traps, and you can deny people from running into the Misfortune, but if the enemy team outranges you, you don't really do much. So I love this pivot from IG. It was kind of a glaring weakness that I honestly felt like JD Gaming exposed themselves to. And now JD Gaming are going to have to scramble to find engage options, because they're no longer the one with the range advantage. They can't goat IG into them. They're going to be the ones that have to have some sort of engage tool and basically follow up on that. So they're going to go for, at least they're going to go for a counter pick here. This is what I wanted to see from Zoom. At least he's going to try the counter pick in the Wukong and try to take it to the Shy.
Yep, have a little bit more of a power to do things in the laning phase, while also being a massive benefit for his team if he is able to find that engage. The actual wombo combo that you see now coming out for JDG with the, you know, the grasping thorns or the grasping roots, and well as the bullet time alongside the cyclone, is a huge amount of AoE damage that if they can catch onto IG will just actually melt health bars no matter who it is. So I like the pivot from JDG. I think IG have gone full, you know, poke comp, so if they can just keep their distance, they'll be totally fine. There it is. Good job, lads. Really nice bow there. Fully on board there, fully in sync. And yeah, overall, I feel like this is JDG who need to be proactive. This is a team that needs, you know, with the composition they've built, they need to be the ones chasing IG, because if they just sit back and wait, IG's going to break down their health bars.
It definitely will be the case right here. JD Gaming is basically a team that they don't really want to let the opposing team ever set up sieges. If they're a 5-man together in front of a tower, there's not really much that the JD Gaming team is going to be able to accomplish right here. Another thing I do want to mention is that this is going to be the first time that we're actually going to be seeing Lumao onto the likes of Maokai. It's been a very hit or miss pick so far. We have seen Mako on the Maokai yesterday, and the engage is extremely slow. You do have to use flanks quite well, but if you somehow chance on an Ocean Soul, it's actually quite nice because the entire river is going to get covered in brushes, and that gives you double damage on the sapling. So a bit of an interesting pick. I want to see how Lumao does on this one.
We are on to the Rift for Game 2 of IG versus JDG. Again, ball is very much in JDG's court. They need to be the ones proactively looking for things like we talked about, but also for IG. Obviously, some kind of small little hiccups in the first game. The bot lane didn't go exceptionally well, and they didn't really have a great laning phase overall. So for Wink and Baolan, I want to see a little bit of improvement, maybe a little bit more cautiousness going into Loken and Lumao. One of the... last year, one of probably the scariest bot lanes to go in, just because Lumao just understands how to do that, win that 2v2.
And we have seen Lumao and Loken together for quite a long time now. They've started ever since 2018 when they brought this squad together. So they've definitely had a lot more synergy over, I would say, the likes of Wink and Baolan. Now we are seeing some interesting moves straight out the gate. This is going to be a split map, and hopefully this means that Zoom is going to have a lot of jungle pressure onto the Shy to just kick him out of lane early.
Yeah, it looks like Zoom going to take your advice and just take it to the Shy. Just get a pretty decent trade back, brings the Shy down to just under about a fifth of his HP. And like you said, he has the lane pressure. That counter, very, very important in this laning phase.
Yeah, I love that level 1 trade going in. It's a very low cooldown for the Nimbus Cloak onto the Wukong. And early on, Gnar really doesn't have much range. He actually has a scaling attack range that he gets with levels. So if you just chuck him out early levels, then it becomes very difficult to lane. And also Kanavi is in this position where he could potentially... if the HP bars get low enough, he could potentially just walk up and finish the deal that now that he is committed onto the top side.
Rookie has popped down that ward, so they will have pretty good vision of it, but Shun has been spotted out, and just going to try and see if he can get a little bit of a move here onto this red buff. You can see he knows that the blue buff of his is almost certainly gone. And no, gonna get pretty easily 3 buffed. And Shun, they're both level 3. However, the blue buff and the red buff pretty equal here. Kanavi trying to chase this one back as much as he can. Dodges out the spear, but misses his Q. The Shy now in a little bit of trouble. Flash, flash, flash! And there it is. First blood going over to JDG. Shun is still here. Maybe going to try and capitalize on a flashless Kanavi and Zoom. But right now, it's still very, very difficult. He doesn't land the spear. He's going to have to back himself away. So good start from JDG.
Very well played. Down to the wire for Zoom. He actually survives just with that passive stone skin ticking in for him. And, that does turn out a little bit sad for IG. They did find out the pathing from Graves. They were able to chunk him out a little bit. But when it came to the top lane rotation, it's very difficult for Gnar to rotate in to join that jungle fight compared to the likes of Zoom. Like, Gnar, range champion, you have to walk into Zoom. That really put the Shy in kind of a bad position right there. And frankly, I didn't think that the Shy really wanted to join that fight if he had a choice.
And while that was happening, we saw in our picture-in-picture, both summoners from Loken burn. The cleanse and the flash is a very good engage from Baolan. As we're seeing a little bit of an opposite from the first game in terms of the bot lane. And it will be a blue buff actually given over to Shun in the end. He will be able to steal that camp away and get himself back into this, as Lumao is here as well. They might try and just go for an engage. Kanavi is around, but they think the better of it. Back themselves away. There is a bit of a wave pushing into the tower.
Don't really want to take this straight up 3v3 head on. I think the greatest asset of Maokai as a support is that just point and click crowd control. It's so easy to land. There's nothing the enemy can really do to you. So you really want to leverage that by just going in 3v2 situations, just tying down the kills. And from what I've seen, a lot of these Maokais have been going Ionian Boots of Lucidity just to keep their flash cooldowns low and to make sure that they can continuously just catch up the bot lane like that. So they're holding on for a better chance to strike on Lumao's part.
And again, we talked about it briefly as we were coming into this matchup, but this was, you know, a big year, or a disappointing 2020 for IG as they're coming into 2021. They didn't make it to Worlds. They got knocked out of the regional qualifier. They, you know, a lot of people very much miss the fact that the Shy and Rookie and the likes were not at the World Championship because they bring so much excitement, and you feel like there's maybe a little bit of kind of, I suppose, good glass cone. Kanavi keeps himself alive, and they do pop a ward down as well to see where he is. So the dive most certainly will not happen just yet. To say that though, it might, yeah, straight up gets him. There's no decoy available to him, and they land the trouble bubble as well. That's going to be a long drawback. The poke comp is enough. Shun with a double kill. And all that good work in topside now, unfortunately, gone a little bit to waste, as the Shy doesn't even have to leave his minions. He can just happily push in and deny a huge amount of XP and farm.
And most of that did stem from the fact that the priority that IG was getting from the mid lane was just far too much. Rookie is sitting on a double wave of a CS advantage. He's able to get here to the scene first. And Shun, knowing that he can take that 2v1 is actually quite impressive. Gets the execute down. Perfect follow-up with the poke kill. Lone turret shot isn't able to kill him. And this is just what happens when you let Rookie free roam on the map. Like, he was able to rotate first. Shia had to deal with waves. Wasn't able to follow. Very good rotation from IG to put Wink then into the mid lane while they had their waves pushed up. So clean rotations, they don't miss any minion waves, they have full control of topside jungle, and this Gnar is going to get really hard to kill. Like, if this Gnar gets boots 2, the plated steel caps, before you have your components finished, you're not really going to kill him.
Yeah, and the thing as well is you're looking towards the mid lane, and Shun already building up maybe a half a level, you know, experience lead on himself, and we saw how out of control that became in the first game. And for Kanavi on this Graves, again, I do not think that the Graves was necessarily the problem in the first game, but it just didn't really do anything for Kanavi. He wasn't really able to make anything happen for it, and we're kind of seeing the same situation here. They give over the mid lane. Shun seems very, very comfortable on this pick. It just feels like they're just giving over too much of a power pick for the side of IG to really have no answer for.
I think Graves is just a pick that does a lot better if you have winning lanes, and he can just farm the enemy jungle. He's a very, very strong duelist early on, but unfortunately that really isn't the case right now. And I think most of it still is stemming from the fact that, you know, they don't really have control over mid lane. Rookie can kind of leave whenever he feels like it, and that has been hugely detrimental. So right now, I think JD Gaming are once again on more of a slower path. They're looking probably to contest the Herald. And right now, Lumao is already heading towards that section of the map. He's going to get there a little slightly slower than Bottom, but he definitely will be in the fight. And they are rotating Loken here too. So trying to equalize it on this Herald.
Oh, there we go. The Herald plays. I swear we're watching Unicorns of Love, as they always fought over the Heralds if you watch any kind of CIS, but people capped in the back of the pit. Zoom does pop the Cyclone. They flash him with Lumao, try to get the Shield of Daybreak, and they will kill off Shuns. There is no smite fight here available. IG have bitten off a little bit more than they can chew. They've had to burn a couple of summoners. Good poke coming in here now from the side of IG. They may just try and look to kind of get something else here. Lumao and Kanavi going to play bodyguard from the curtain call, and overall it is a 1 kill to JDG. They get themselves a Rift Herald and overall positives.
Yep, that's the way JDG likes to come back into games. They just rotate their bot lane very, very aggressively. They had to 5v4 in that situation, and honestly they didn't really even need it. They had enough burst damage on Shun as he was going in and trying to potentially get a steal onto that Herald. And now it still is the Rookie show. He has the smite here. It doesn't get it.
Yeah, he does not get it. It does go over to Kanavi, but there are 3 people here from the side of IG just bullying Kanavi out of his own jungle. While that was happening, you can see the Shy also bullying the Wukong out as well, making sure he's denying even more CS, more XP, more farm. He's already built himself up a 15 CS lead, and the massive wave on the top side is going to go away as well. So this is probably going to be 20 CS. This is not looking great for the top lane that got the counter pick.
I love what they're doing right here. This is kind of like vintage IG, as they're constantly rotating Balan into the top side for numbers advantage, and this allows them to just deny Zoom over and over again. Zoom could actually win the all-in, but he's not willing to chance it because he knows there's multiple members here. Oh, wow.
Oh my god, the redemption that comes in and just literally heals up the Shy, so they have no problem tanking it up anymore. There's no fear of being burst down, and that's the power of Zoe. She gets those, you know, setups, gets those actives on her W, and there's, you gotta be wary of them, so very unfortunate for Zoom, and just feels like he's just not really able to do anything against the Shy. The Shy feels like he's looking like his top form again. It's fantastic to see if you're an IG fan.
And this is the thing that we kind of predicted the Shy would go to. There was a lot of people asking, hey, is the Shy going to kind of tone himself down? Is he going to be more manageable for the team? My answer was no, because he actually has better players rotating towards his top side. So he's going to play even more aggressive, but he's going to have better backup. And I think this is what we're seeing in this game here. IG, they're honestly winning this, a lot of it off rotation, because mid lane is getting there first. They're willing to leave Jhin into the bot lane by himself, and bot lane can roam towards the top side, but Zoom is trying to get something back.
The Shy can just take those fights, though, get the health bar down from Zoom, gets the Cyclone out of him as well. He goes back, he heals up once he gets his Mega Gnar form. They will get a good bit of money there from the plates in the mid lane, so nicely done there with the Rift Herald from JDG using that Herald they had acquired earlier. We actually haven't even really looked at bot lane at all recently because the supports have just been roaming. Like, Baolan and Lumao have just left bot lane and said, all right, Wink, Loken, shake hands, no one's going to die, don't be stupid, and yeah, farm up as much as you like. There's nothing really to be said there.
It's been the 2v1 game for Wink the entire time. He's basically been the last one rotating, so he's either filling out 1v2 versus the bot side or 1v2 in the mid lane. And I think we should get used to that, because with Jhin as a very prominent lethality pick, this is how he's played. Every support that wants to roam, a lot of times they're going to be paired with Jhin, and they're just going to leave him there. They're going to dump him on his back, and they're going to look and make better plays into the top side.
Yeah, again, Jhin incredibly safe, incredibly secure in how he kind of, you know, can able to rotate. But Lumao is here. It's a potential 3v2. Never mind, it's a 4v3 as Lumao is in a little bit of trouble. Has not got his flash available to him, and should be an easy kill over to Rookie. And this is the problem we're seeing a lot of the time as Zoom gets bullied again and again. They're going to have to force out his decoy with no decoy left for him. That means Baolan knows that there's no way he can mess this one up. Drops the Ignite. The Shy picks up that one. And this is looking, again, rinse, repeat. It's almost like a deja vu of the first game.
Oh, they're just completely ignoring Xia. They're basically saying Xia does not exist on the map. We don't care what Xia does whatsoever. We're just going to leave lane 24/7, and we're going to go top. We're going to destroy the mental of Zoom, and maybe Shun's going to be able to take this 1v1.
Oh my god, it's going to be Rookie who picks up the kill at the end of it, but Shun stays alive. Loken was waiting. I like it. I like the idea from Loken. He was waiting for the cat to pounce, and he would have picked himself up a nice little kill. Nice cheeky little play there from the Misfortune, but unfortunately Shun had looked at the map relatively recently and didn't want to commit to that
Zoom's
one. But
face.
Again, out of nowhere.
God, he's so distraught.
Yeah.
He's been seeing so many members of
40
IG pay him
CS,
visits.
dude.
Oh, you just let out a massive sigh.
Yeah, this is not looking good. A Xenoblade over the wall here from Baolan as he goes in aggressive with the Leona. Lumao and Kanabi have to back themselves away. The Shy gets the Cyclone out of Zoom, but Zoom gets the flash out of the Shy. Shy has been responded with his own flash, and there's actually a nice little solo kill. Well done, Zoom. You got yourself back into this game, and that's what we need to be seeing from JDG. More proactivity, get themselves into those 1v1 situations.
When Zoom is finally left into the 1v1, he can still take it to the Shy. Even the Shy had to laugh on that one because he knew he had way more help than Zoom this entire game, but he still kind of messed that one up. So well played by the Zoom. He finally gets that frustration out of him, and you know, the JD Gaming are ripe to take down another tower here.
Yeah, they give up the pressure around the dragon, but that's totally fine. They've now opened up the mid lane. That opens up the map a little bit more. So this game is not dead and done. I will admit, it was looking a little bit dire for JDG, but they seem to have kind of woken up now with that solo kill. They seem to have kind of maybe picked up the pace. I want to see them continue that trend. Look for the advantages. Look for the 1v1s. Look for the, you know, the outnumbered skirmishes and really put IG on the back foot.
Definitely what they're going to try here, but the Shy going in does burn the flash out of Kanavi. This is going to be a 4v2 in the river. I don't think the Shy can get away with this one.
Oh, maybe not. Balan's being coerced away. He flashed in with the Xenoblade, but Shun can't follow up. There's a Maokai, there's a gravity field there. The Shy will jump in with his ultimate available, knock 2 people back, and will die, unfortunately for him. The Rift Herald has been started. Lumao forced to flash away. Will he be able to keep himself alive? The flash auto attack, though, from Shun is just enough to get him down. Loken, while all this is happening, this is a 4v4 now, effectively, or 4v3, because Loken's just in the backside. Xie trying to play keep away, but he can't get away from Wink's final bullet. The Rift Herald will fall while this is all happening. You can see in the minimap of bot lane, Loken's playing PvE. He doesn't want to have anything to do with these team fights.
This is such a fun way that IG is playing this. IG has always been the team that's very willing to overload one side of the map and just completely win out the team fights on one end. Loken has to run away. He does have his W Gale Force pop, but I don't think he's going to be able to get away from this one.
Nope, I'm pretty sure he's dead, as the Shy says, hey, you're a part of this game too. It's a team game. Picks himself up a kill, and there was actually a little bit of shutdown gold there onto Loken, as he just was farming up an absolute storm and doing effectively nothing with anyone else, just living his own game, living his best life is how I would put it. But now with that debt coming down on top of JDG means they don't really have a huge amount of pressure to kind of work with right now. They need to get their lanes back in order.
Yeah, it definitely is the case. IG have a massive tempo lead on the map right now, and from what we've seen, they're very, very happy to just walk into the enemy jungle. They've done this for Shun almost the entirety of Game 1, and on IG Young, this is exactly how they like to play. With Shun too, is you just bring all of your players along with Shun into the jungle, starve out the enemy, and just keep him getting ahead and even more ahead. Solarflare goes down. Loken dodges it barely.
Lands the Trouble Bubble. Yeah, Trouble Bubble does land. It was just basically to keep the Rift Herald going. Get that final charge off as it almost takes down the mid lane tier 2. Tier 1 in the bot side is being pretty much used as a denial of farm. Nothing really else that they can do about that. They are going to lose a huge amount of XP and CS from that one there. So for JDG, though, they're not letting IG dictate the pace anymore. They're going to push back in. They're going to look for a tier 2 of their own. They're going to look to fully open up this mid lane. I really like this from JDG. They just need to make sure they don't bite off too much than they can chew.
Yep, to see the members falling into mid lane, JDG Gaming have to back off almost immediately. The Shy doesn't have his teleport, but they don't really want to risk it being hit by one of those sleepy trouble bubbles. So not much that actually comes out of this one. And right now, I think IG are just pulling a scare tactic onto JD Gaming. They're kind of funneling them to one side of the map because they always have to be aware of where the Shy could be in. The Shy has been missing on the map for a couple of seconds. They get the ults down and they just force a reset. So not much really done on JD Gaming's side. They were very close to getting some damage onto that mid lane tier 2, but well defended by IG. And the game kind of goes on. This is going to be a bit more difficult for IG to find advantages now that the map is wide open and there's not a lot of things to actually siege. So we are going to the phase of the game where JD Gaming's 5v5 comp is going to be kind of the more prominent style of team fighting.
You see the gold there on your left-hand side. The Shy, well and truly above everybody else. But Loken, because he has just been playing PvE, is still picking himself up a decent chunk himself. So it's all going to be on this much fortune. And like we talked about in the last game, the bullet time can be absolutely key, but it's very, very difficult to lock everybody in place unless you get that combination. It's just not really a realistic or reliable source of damage to be kind of looking towards. However, it's just a little bit further away. 2 dragons in favor of IG. The next one is an Infernal, which will be the Infernal Soul. Put them onto 3rd Drake, which will also be put them onto Infernal Soul Point. And again, it's so hard to walk into this full poke, and you have the advantage as the poke team. You just keep throwing out skill shots. You're wasting little to no resources, and if you land one, you gain so much.
Yeah, it was a beautiful pivot from the draft. Nurmov does go in, but he's 1v4 in that situation, and the ult's going backwards. What?
The ult went a little bit the wrong way there as the Shy is starting to feel a little bit better. Kanavi did get stunned up by the Trouble Bubble. Shy is looking for a little bit of engage. Loken, though, needs to be so careful. He flashes away, just about dodges that mountain of a boulder. And while that was all happening, that was a 4v5 because Shun was just on the dragon.
Yeah, he wasn't even at the scene right there. And that's just how far JD Gaming are behind. Initiation is very, very difficult. And I feel like Nature's Grasp is not really a great initiation tool if you're throwing at the enemy team's face point blank. It really works much better as kind of a flanking tool where the enemy is backing away already and they have to run into Nature's Grasp. But a lot of the times, if you're throwing out nature's scraps like that, it's way too slow to catch anyone. And unfortunately for Lirimo, he did have a little bit of a oopsie on the targeting direction for that one.
Yeah, and honestly, like we talked about how the last game was kind of decided by Rookie getting, you know, 3 kills and 3 assists, so 6 kill participations in the first kind of 15 minutes. He's up to 7 at 20 minutes, so like, you know, not as fast and, you know, not as not as much gold for him, but Rookie's still looking fantastic as always. And this is kind of, despite everything with IG, despite everything we know from this team, despite how they sometimes just really try and run it down, Rookie has been the constant that never disappointed.
Definitely is the case right here. Lirimo trying it again, but this time it's more for disengage. He's going to fall down before anything actually happens.
Yeah, and now you can see IG, they're kind of trying to go for a little bit more. Zoom jumps in, trying to catch out Baolan, but he flashes away, and now the real fight can start. The bullet time pops out. Rookie taking a lot of damage, but not enough to kill him, and that's going to be Xie picking up Baolan on the backside. Maybe they can go for something here, but they cannot, as Shun shuts him down. The Shy fighting Loken. Loken has to cleanse, but a beautiful follow-up with the double stun, and that's it. The ace comes in. Baron is on the menu, and again, IG make it happen.
Oh, there was a moment right there where Zoom and Loken's ultimate were perfectly aligned. They got Rookie very, very low, but Rookie somehow survived through all of the bursts, was able to put back damage, closed out on Xie with the help of Shun, and the Shy on the backline, that was just beautiful. He got the Mega Gnar knockback into the double stun prediction right there on the wall up. Very well done, and IG are putting the finishing touches on this game.
Yeah, and again, this was JDG being aggressive, being proactive. Luma just kind of got caught here and just deleted before anything could really happen.
Yeah, Lirimo is not tanky whatsoever on this Maokai. He was looking for a chance steal on the blue buff. They go in, and this was the moment that I thought, hey, maybe JD Gaming do have a chance right here. Loken has a really good ultimate into the knockup coming in from Wukong, but it's not enough to finish off Rookie. They're able to kite back. Xie goes down, and let's just watch this, the Shy play again. It's so well done. Instant flash in into the double stun.
We haven't got time, Clement. They're fighting over a blue buff. Everything's now an objective. This is the IG you love and know. They are the team that will give you nothing, no inches, nothing in terms of resources, and you will have to give up absolutely everything. It is a privilege to get a blue buff when they are this far ahead. They've got themselves the Baron buff. Xie trying to split push into the top side to get anything he possibly can. Should be able to pick up this tower, but right now, this is the Rookie show. This is this whole team finally looking like 2018, you know, in that same kind of vein. Obviously very, very early on in the season, but this is so exciting to watch from IG.
Definitely. When a bunch of good players get their groove on, this is what you're going to see. Unfortunately for the Shy, that was not the right monkey. Good fake out by Zoom. Actually gets the ultimate. Very low cooldown. And even Wink getting on the fun, flashing some emotes for his teammates right there.
I think that was more of a message than anything else. That was the Shy saying, you know what, it doesn't even matter. I know this is the clone. I'm still gonna ult it.
Just in case.
You can see the curtain call does come out. Just in case, you know. I want to put, it's not about getting the kill, it's about sending a message. So we can see here, they're keeping that one cannon minion alive as long as they possibly can. The Shy pushing in towards this mid lane. They're going for a 1-4 split, with the rest of IG just looking to poke, and this is the power of the poke comp you talked in draft. It's so oppressive, so hard to deal with as Luma goes in, but a perfectly timed solar flare stops Loken's bullet time dead in its tracks. And that's it. That's the wombo combo effectively done, as there's the Wukong. The monkey is down. You've nothing left. IG have just completely decimated JDG here.
Yeah, that was a beautiful stun coming in from Baolan. Was read very, very well, and the entire engage with the Cyclone and the Nature's Grasp just falls straight flat on its face. That engage sequence really can't be run when you don't have any flanking potential. Throwing it outwards, it's just a little bit too slow, and IG played that perfectly.
IG, oh my god, the damage coming out here is just... You just can't deal with it. There's nothing you can do. You're too far behind now, JDG. The poke comp's going to keep melting down.
Yeah, he's a scratching board at this point for sure. Like, he really isn't doing anything. But Zoom is coming in. He can find the shot.
They got to go for something. They're going to try and find the Shy, but he's now into Mega Gnar, so now all of a sudden he is a big CC bot. They're going to try and just use, as they can see, they don't care. They're just trying to get the Cyclone, but it only lands on the one person. They can see Baolan on the backside with this Leona. Zoom is now dead. The Loken is set to flash away. He has not got his cleanse available to him either. He's trying to just CS. He's trying to just auto attack these people down, but there's just no damage. They haven't got the numbers behind them. They haven't got the money. And that was it. That was the final call. That was the final last-ditch effort, and it's IG 2-0 in this series.
What a quick and decisive game coming out from IG. It really does show that JD Gaming early on the split still looks like they are trying to find their bearings. But IG actually are going to take this one pretty slow. You know, there's only 8 seconds on Zoom, so probably not going to be able to finish the game outright. They're going to go for the safe route and just finish this up with the touch of Infernal Soul.
Yeah, and see the Shy. He doesn't care about his ultimate. His ultimate means nothing. It's on such a low cooldown now. It's well under a minute at this stage. And they're going to take themselves an Infernal Soul 25.5 minutes into this game. They're feeling pretty damn good. And IG, they're trying to send a message. They are a top team coming into this year. They are not to be slept on by the likes of Top Esports and JDG. Again, this is just fantastic play from IG.
Yeah. Forcing everyone to go into this quarter on IG side makes it so easy. No one is touching Rookie. No one's touching Shun throughout most of the fight. They get the front line down, and Loken has some really good kiting right here. Does put on his fancy shoes, but unfortunately for him, still can't get away. And overall, I just feel like this game kind of showcases why Victor isn't as popular as people have said during the preseason. He's just so slow of a pick. Just allows Rookie way too much room to do whatever he wants. Goodbye, Luma, once again.
Shy almost being... Yeah, they're going to try and burst him down. The Shy is still there. He will die. However, the damage is done. The Infernal Soul is doing its work. You can see there, Kanavi trying to find Baolan. Doesn't quite get the auto attack down. Will eventually kill him off, while Rookie is just chasing down Zoom. Will not be able to kill him off, but he is the last man standing against a very, very derelict base. And this feels like IG. They're going to push in this mid wave. They got super minions coming in. This is the end of the game.
4 for 2, and a lot of people have to be questioning, where is Yagao? You know, Yagao had some other picks that could make a difference in this early game. We didn't see it this series. And unfortunately, JD Gaming are going to go down 0-2 in much of the same fashion in both games. Honestly, Shia just kind of felt invisible against Rookie.
Yeah, just really kind of didn't do much.
Right. There's no way. Okay.
Yeah, they almost had you. But 2-0 on the day for IG over JDG, and that was a statement series. That was IG not playing around. Shun looked fantastic. The Shy playing probably some of the best I've seen him in a very long time, and Rookie is always going to be Rookie. That was just clean.
Yeah, and that just showcases how IG can punish you if your lanes are too slow, if you can't follow up with their members. IG, if people remember, when they first started off without Jackie Love, they were known as a team that could rotate very well. Baolan was someone that always did the then called Megan roam, which is the level 4 to the support onto the top side. And this just kind of showcases that. This game wasn't really about individual mechanical prowess. It was just about them understanding rotations better. You know, willing to leave Wink in lane, let Loken play his PvE game, let Shia play his PvE game. Doesn't really matter. They're going to overload on the top side. They're going to shut down the only counter pick that JD Gaming threw at them. And once they shut the monkey down, there really wasn't much other fight that JD Gaming could bring to the table. They didn't have any individual strengths. Their composition was outranged completely. They had to do very, very risky engages, and IG just come out trumps on so many fronts, from draft, from rotation to synergy.
Yeah, it was a complete another domination.